Yo, you're listening to All Elite Podcast. Boom.
And it is the worst podcast ever. We live! Ow!
Frankie Terry, Scorpio Sky, Martin Daniels, Collective SoCal, Uncensored Or, SCU!
This is Isaiah Cassidy. I'm Mark Quinn, and we're Private Party.
This is the All Elite Podcast,
And you're listening to the All Elite Podcast,
which happens to be the worst podcast I've ever been on. SCU!
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the All Elite Podcast right here on the No Holds Barred Network, your source for all wrestling podcast content and more. I'm your host, as always, the self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters. And I'm always joined by my co-host. She is the EVP of Giggles, the Heartbreak Chick, and the Queen of the Indies. Yeah, she loves those indies. That's Tiffany with antlers. And, the Exalted One. Tiffany. Maybe. We don't know yet. It's not confirmed. Guys, welcome to the Revolution review and recap here. Well, it's live on YouTube for now.
He's so mellow. He had so much energy before.
I'm just, it's this. So I thought it was OBS that had to update. So I updated OBS. So far, so good. It's even like, it's even if flashes like that. Like it drives me absolutely nuts. I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's like the last time we had this happen was back in like December. I think I remember it was like December. It was like the second or third week of December. Like something like this happened where like for some reason my OBS does not want to connect with YouTube. I don't know if this has to do with OBS. I don't know if it has to do with YouTube because it's weird how this happens at random time. Because like if it was me, if it was like on my end, like it was an internet issue, this would happen week after week after week after week. But it doesn't. You know what I mean? It's for you guys to do live stuff. If you do live on YouTube, I know everyone's hopefully people know what we're talking about. If not, you have no idea what we're going through.
All right, I need hyped Kyle right now.
I need hype Kyle because last night, I think all my hype was gone because last night was probably I used all my energy that I have for. Like I had left for the month of February. Like last night's event was so good, and I was excited. I was left happy. Unlike when I look at OBS, I'm not happy. It's
a lot. If you podcast, you know the issues that you can have podcasting. I have my own issues when I run on my end. It happens. So it's good. Let us know in the chat if it's okay. I mean, it looks good on my end.
But, what we will do is we have it recording so that if I go back and watch and I don't like what I see, I will delete it. I will delete it, and I will re-upload the proper version. Yes, we are teasing Matt Hardy because I now think it is Matt Hardy. It's got to be Matt Hardy. Did anyone see what Uvo Uno tweeted at midnight of all times last night? The Exalted One is near. What happened at midnight last night? Matt Hardy's contract was over with the WWE. Can they make it any more obvious? Or is this on purpose? Is this done?
I love it that we're being trolled.
Yeah, I think OBS is trolling me right now.
Ray said OBS is the Exalted One.
I think, you know what I was actually just about to say? I think either the Exalted One is controlling our OBS right now, or OBS actually is the Exalted One because it's literally driving me up the freaking wall. It sucks. But I think Matt Hardy's the Exalted One. Like, I'm watching the playback right now. It's skipped. Like, I'm probably going to be deleting this and re-uploading the actual version. But that's okay. We're going to continue here for the actual version because there'll be no issues with that. OBS. Anywho, AEW Revolution review and recap episode right here on the All Elite Podcast, guys, where myself and Tiff talk about everything going on with AEW. Keep you guys up to date with everything going on at AEW World. We like to have fun here and chat about wrestling. We want to chat with you guys. We'll do a lot of fan interaction. So if you're new, welcome. And we hope you come back. And for you guys coming back, thank you for coming back. Thank you for downloading the episode on the go. Thank you for watching here semi-live on YouTube. And thank you for watching back here on YouTube. We do appreciate everything you fans do for us. It's what you guys, I'm gonna pull a John Moxley here. It's you fans out there that keep me and Tiff coming back each and every single week on this podcast. If it wasn't for you guys, I don't know if we would continue. So I want to give a shout out to each and every one of our followers and our subscribers here on the All Elite Podcast. So for you guys, applaud.
I'm loving the stuff into the chat. Darby could be the exalted one. Orange Cassidy could be the exalted one.
Anybody at this point could be the exalted one. Really, if you think about it, anyone is a suspect. Even Tiff. Tiff is a suspect.
Yeah, because I was here in New York. I told you I wasn't in Chicago. I wasn't going. I can't.
I mean, yeah, we didn't get the exalted one last night. So, I mean, it could be Tiff. Or it could be, we brought up in the last show, it could be Fat Pharaoh because he's been missing. So, I don't know where he is. Yeah, see, look, Tiff can't find him. He gone. He's the exalted one. I think Fat Pharaoh is the exalted one. Just saying. But if we're thinking realistically here, it probably is Matt Hardy. You know what I mean? Like, I think Matt Hardy could it could be a smart decision. I think he could transcend the Dark Order into a new level. You know what I mean?
I don't know what to expect, especially that we're seeing a lot of things also that Tony Khan is very open with, like the indie scene as well. I mean, me and Kyle are talking about the New Japan thing you were just telling me about with Tony Khan axing, that he's letting the stars work New Japan and he's waiting on the vice versa, that the doors are open for them to come work in AEW.
Yeah, apparently it's hasn't been a two-way street though, so there's a little bit of friction going on with AEW New Japan, which I kind of saw happening a little bit. But the door's there, so it could happen eventually. Again, Tony Khan saying that he's open to it. It just, if he's open to stars in AEW working with New Japan as long as it doesn't interfere with anything AEW does. So I mean, that's understandable coming from his point as well.
Well, especially with all the other stars that are still working in the indie scene, just like how, like I've seen Private Party and House of Glory, we've seen Jurassic Express all over the place. So I like that we have like that open door. So I mean, I would love to see a lot of matches with like New Japan coming over to AEW. It'd be great.
Right.
So
and
crossed.
Also, like he said, it's not have been a two-way street. So whoever's running New Japan, they don't feel the same way. They're not feeling the same. Like if New Japan stars want to come work for, AEW, it's, you know what I mean. Like it's not a two-way street because they're not thinking the same. So
Chris,
who knows?
You're killing me. Orange Cassidy versus Yano, please.
Versus who?
Yano.
Who's Yano?
Man, oh my God. I gotta get like Kyle bigger onto the New Japan side. Yano is hilarious. It's like another like comedy wrestler. Did you remember like I posted the video with him versus Moxley and then he had the DVD?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like how much she's like 5,000 yen, 5,000 yen, and then he went and got Young Lion to go get money from the guy, and then he like it was great. So yeah, I would love Orange Cassidy and Yano. Make this happen, please make it happen. But anyway, okay, so enough like New Japan talk. Even though it'd be great, we would love it.
It would be great. Yeah.
I mean, we talked about this even before, like even like Ring of Honor, like we could imagine the stuff, the crossings. It would be great. So
I think we had the seed planned for that with Jeff Cobb too. So
yeah. So
other than that,
all right, let's get it.
Dark Order. Like we said, the Exalted One. It could be one of many people. We still haven't seen Lance Archer. He did tease that he was going to be in Chicago, he brought it up in the predictions that maybe he would make his debut at Revolution. He didn't. Maybe he makes his debut this week on Dynamite. Maybe he was just in Chicago to meet with, AEW execs and Cody and Tony Khan just to, kind of get a feel for how they do things backstage. That's what a lot of wrestlers do. They like to attend. If they're going to a company, they want to attend some events backstage and see how things get done so that they familiarize themselves for when they do debut and they're on the show. So that could have been why he was in Chicago to meet up with AEW execs. There could have been some contract stuff. But again, the idea was there that he might, make his debut at the show. So he didn't, but that's all right. I think the show was a solid pay-per-view. It was good from top to bottom. It was really, really interesting. So the stage was really cool. We finally got they spent some money with this pay-per-view, which, like you said and Cody said in an interview, this is basically AEW's WrestleMania.
Right.
Not only did they spend some money with the set, they spent some money with the crowd. They handed out those LED bracelets, which I imagine those things would cost a lot of money to especially give out that many. Like it was everywhere in the crowd. So they spent money to interact those.
That was such a cool effect to add to AEW. But as they've been saying, they're all about their fans, which is great. It was really cool to see back at Chicago since I was there, and I wish I was there.
Right.
I definitely wish I was there.
Yeah. It was cool how the lights interacted with the entrances and stuff. That was really cool to see. So again, they spent a pretty penny on this pay-per-view, and I love the set. The set looked good. It was simple. It was awesome. I love that it was there were half tunnels that the people were coming out of, which was pretty cool. I thought that the overall pay-per-view itself was really, really good. I thought they did a good job with each storyline. We had some progression. Some stories didn't end, which we'll get into. Some stories came to an end, it looks like, and we had some pretty cool moments. So it was such an awesome pay-per-view. It was really, really cool. And if this is their WrestleMania every year, then I'm all for it. I think they gave us a really good type of first kind of WrestleMania show. A lot of people would probably naysay that. Maybe they could have gone a little bit more over their top, but maybe that's not their idea of a WrestleMania. You can't just keep going way, way, way over the top every single year. But it was good. It was really, really good. We got a new champion. We had some title retains. But yeah, we'll start off with the Dark Order, and that was in the buy-in, the Revolution buy-in. We had the Dark Order face SCU and the promo. Oh man.
The promo.
The promo beforehand with SCU, they basically telling Christopher Daniels, we love you, man, but we got this. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna try to do this on our own. And Christopher Daniels kind of looked upset. He was like, oh okay, well, maybe I should stay back here. And God, I thought we were getting the Exalted one when he came out in that cloak. I'm like, I think I can already see it's Christopher Daniels. I'm like, oh my God, is he the Exalted one? Are they gonna go this route? And even the reveal, from where the camera was in the reveal, it was like behind him, sort of on the right, and I couldn't really see his T-shirt. I thought he was wearing a Dark Order T-shirt. I'm like, oh my God, they picked him. They picked Christopher Daniels. And then when the camera went back to the other side, I saw he was wearing his STU Chicago shirt, and he charged the ring and then helped out the attack after. And we both got that pick right.
That one. It's funny. Like I said on the prediction show, there was no way that the Exalted one was going to come out in a buy-in. It's too big. We all want to see it, right? Yeah. We all see who the Exalted one is. There's no way in a buy-in is it going to happen. So yeah, story-wise, this makes 100% point. I mean, I love that we got spooky pervert chants during this. This was a great tag team match. I was behind it. I'm really behind it. Like now, I'm totally behind Dark Order.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure everybody else is too.
I think it's cool they gave us kind of like a little tease, even though we knew that he wasn't going to get, they weren't going to reveal the Exalted one in the buy-in, but we got the tease with Christopher Daniels coming out in that cloak, and I was like, oh man, first second I was like, oh shit, maybe we're going to actually get it here. Like, this was interesting. And what we did get is we had the hometown kid, Colt Cabana, helping out SCU, coming out for the save. And that wasn't a pre-show, correct? I wasn't wrong there.
Yeah, that was in the buy-in. That was in the
buy-in.
buy-in.
And then,
but it like it was kind of silly to me. I mean, I get it. You know, he lives there, but like then it's like he got like kind of like squashed, and then Christopher Daniels. I don't know. I think it could have been less. I'm not a huge Colt Cabana fan. I know a lot of people are. I'm not a huge fan of him.
Why not?
So I do it. I don't know. I can't get behind him. I just can't. I'm not saying anything bad. It's just he's not a fan. I'm not a fan. I don't get buried now.
Yeah. Well,
I know everybody likes it. I'm not a big fan.
I think he's okay.
I get it.
I don't think OBS is a fan. Every time we were talking about it there, it kept crapping out. Anywho, as for Colt Cabana, we find out that after the pay-per-view that he's actually signed. He's all elite. And they gave him the contract freedom as well, saying that he's free to go work for any other company while he's contracted to AEW. So that's really cool. And Colt Cabana is all elite. So interesting. We both picked Dark Order there in our picks. And we both got that right. And Dark Order winning the match. I mean, it was the way they won it was smart. I thought it was a decent opening match for the buy-in. You know what I mean?
I feel like that probably should have been the opener, though. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, but I don't think. I mean, because I'm sure we're going to talk.
I think they did a good job with their opener.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so we like disagree probably with this match.
I mean, I don't know what else you were expecting out of Hager and Dustin. Like, they weren't, for what we got out of both of them.
I don't know. We were talking about it on the prediction show. We were like, okay, like on card, like this is going to be a good match. We were just talking about that at the last show. This is going to be a good match, right?
It was good, though. Like, I mean, for what we got.
Good, but I think it went on way too long, and I don't feel like it was really like a good, me personally, I'm not knocking the match. There was good parts. I think it should have been cut a little bit less. I think it went on a little too long, this match, but I don't think this should have been the opener. I don't know. Like, I feel like maybe Dark Order and SCU should have been the opener. There was too much with Hager and his wife.
There was too much with the Dark Order, so with Colt Cabana and Christopher Daniels and all that crap after.
Way too much. It was like,
so what's the difference between the two?
I just think that the SCU, because SCU and Dark Order put on a better match. I just feel like that should have been the opener.
I think they were pretty much the same.
What do you guys think, chat? I'm curious what you think.
I think it was a normal.
I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying. I just think if these are things that I probably would have tweaked for the show.
I thought they would have opened up with Pac and Orange Cassidy. Just that would have got the crowd fired up there because it's Orange Cassidy's debut. People went nuts for that match. Can you imagine that? That probably should have opened the damn show. Because you can't do the tag team match. It's way too early.
Aubrey says in the chat they got the match card wrong. Opening match. They should have had Sammy Guevara and Darby open it. Because that would have been like wild. I just don't feel like it was hot enough to open up the show. That's it. And I just think it went on a little too long. So, but it was good. I mean, Dustin looked good, and but I don't know. It wasn't the best card. I mean, it wasn't the best match of the night.
No, but compared to the other, you can't.
Oh,
it'll
absolutely.
never be better than any other match on the card. But for what we got with Hager winning, we both picked that Hager was going to win. So we both got that pick right, and I thought it was hilarious the spot he did with his porn star wife there. The makeup all over, and she fixed it. She while after that spot happened, she was seen in the crowd fixing her makeup and everything to get all that paint off. I'm like, oh, come on, lady.
And I know you tweeted it out on the All Elite podcast last night, but I was not a fan of Dustin's makeup. I didn't like it. I like the old version. I don't know.
It was more sinister. It was
I know. That's what
he made it look like the Joker. Dustin was bringing out his sinister side.
But I didn't like it. I like the old side, the half side of the paint. I don't know. I get it. Why
you gotta
he did
expand your mind, there, exalted one.
I didn't expand my mind coming from the girl. All the freaking indie shows. I'm the one
coming from the girl. I'm a guy.
I said coming from the girl who goes to all indie shows, and I'm supposed to expand my mind.
It had that going to the indie shows has nothing to do with face paint.
Oh my God. Anyway, moving on, because I'm not going to continue to argue with you because we could just keep on going.
It was good. It made sense for the situation. It was a different side of Dustin that no one's seen. It was great. I thought it was good.
I get it for the effect of like that he had to kiss Hager's wife and then it was like all over her face and stuff like that. I get it, but I like the half paint on Dustin. So
can't just keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Metal said in the chat it was a dig at Wyatt. So, but still, like. Anyway, these are just things that like I'm just like nitpicking at. I'm not bashing it. I'm just saying these are just things that I wasn't a fan of. So.
Too nitpicky.
Moving on, let's talk about Sammy and Darby because this was a really good match. I feel like these two I can see keep going on and on and on. Like I would love to see them.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, man! Darby got the reaction I thought he was going to get, and he didn't waste any time with that freaking first dive, like right away. Just still with his jacket on, just quickly diving at Sammy, and these guys just beat the ever-living hell out of each other. It was such a good match, and there was that awesome, clean-looking spot where he did the 630 through the table, and I was like, holy crap! And I had my buddy Phil over, and he went nuts for that. He was like, oh my God, that was so clean, and it was so well done, and then right through the table. This is a very, very good match between these two. I'd love to see these two, like you're right, I like to see these two go at it again eventually. And then Darby actually getting the win here. Sorry, Tiff. I had to win on that. I had won on that pick.
It's fine. I mean, like, you know, like I said, like we talked about this at the last show. You know, it could have went like either way. Like it wouldn't matter. Darby's so over. Darby, I get it. Like we talked about that. You know, like with making the fans happy, right? Making the fans happy. And people who say that AEW doesn't make stars, Darby is a freaking star, right? So I do think we need a mid-card title because this is like the perfect time.
Yeah, it's tough when Cody doesn't like. He usually hates the mid-card title.
I don't know. But Sammy G looks so good. Sammy G's really good. I was talking about this with Brad last night, and I was like, compared to the first week of Dynamite, with Sammy G, right? It was kind of like green. Like he's getting so much better. I love it.
Yeah,
guys are young, and it's great that it's like young and there's like the potential of so much greatness that could come out. And like we're already seeing it with Darby, and I'm seeing it with Sammy. But yeah, this is a feud that I would continue to love to see.
Yeah, I thought it was a decent match, and it went the perfect amount of time as well. I had no really complaints about this match. From what I remember, I really can't think of anything else wrong that happened with this match. So, yeah, good on them. Good on him. Good on Darby. I hope Darby goes on to better things here because this guy definitely deserves a push. He's got it with the kids. I saw so many pictures of kids dressed up like Darby and the face paint, people posting the pictures. This kid is getting over with the kids, the demographic that they're not even aiming at. He's getting over with them, and he's getting over with the demographic that they are trying to please and trying to aim their product to. So Darby is going to be a massive star going forward, and he is going to, I think, have a really good 2020 year. Same with Sammy Guevara. Both are really young still, so their future looking bright here in AEW. We'll talk about this match next, and I thought, like I said before, this probably could have opened the show and probably would get the crowd fired up. But even at this point, the crowd was so hot for this match, like so hot. Like when Orange Cassidy came out, it was incredible. We had, I'm assuming the type of chance we got in this, because I've never seen Orange Cassidy's matches in the indies. I'm assuming all like the holy shits and this is awesome and fight forever chants that usually go on and like that like went on in the indies with him. Like the chants are gooned.
I'm gonna stop you because you didn't see him in the indie scene. I was following him heavy in the indie scene.
I know. Okay? I'm just saying. I was assuming that's what happened. Relax.
Oh my God. Why are you on defense today? Like Jesus. Like,
I'm not. God. I'm just saying. You kind of just went like at me there.
Oh my God. Anyway, because I wanted to talk about this match because I wanted to really go in on this match because I wanted to break it down better.
I was gonna let you.
You see how this day is going. It's great. Anyway, refresh. So indie scene. I love Orange Cassidy. The one thing that like I felt, and I tweeted this out on Twitter on my personal page, that I felt the reason why he lost was because of the fact that he didn't have his orange juice. Now, if you followed him in the indie scene, okay, he always came out with he always used to come out with a backpack, and then he'd have his orange juice, and then he would put the orange juice in his back pocket. There was always a spot in the indie scene where he would, somewhere along, like if he was on the floor in the ring or something, he would take a sip of orange juice, and then when he would come into the ring, and then he would spit the orange juice in his opponent's face. And that's what kind of did it. And I talked about how that he was the IWTV champion for a long time. I think it was about like almost like a year that he was the IWTV champion. There was a reason that all the people that he wrestled, there was a reason why he was champion. So I'm so glad that we got a chance to like showcase what I was used to seeing of him in the indie scene, right? Of him even playing with him rolling around in the ring away from Pac. Like these are the mind games that he was playing, that this is what makes Orange Cassidy. So
that was hilarious. The rolling around thing, and the scene where the camera caught at the perfect angle where he rolled and seen Pac waiting for him and he smiled.
Yeah.
that was perfect.
I was wilding out. Like, yeah. I mean, this is the first time that you really seen him, right? I know we saw like a little bit in tag team, but this was the first time that you actually seen him, right? And in the ring at a singles at all, right?
Yeah.
You didn't see
No, they did that thing on Dynamite a few weeks back. But other than that, this was like his first full singles match.
Yeah, that's why I say like it's funny because a lot of the characters that from the indie scenes that had come into AEW, they really haven't been touching. Like they haven't changed Santana and Ortiz. They haven't changed Private Party. What you're seeing is what you're getting in AEW. So this was the only setback that I was kind of upset about last night with Orange Cassidy, is that we did not see the orange juice, because everybody knows him as freshly squeezed. Why aren't we seeing a bottle of orange juice? Yeah. So it was the only thing that like I nitpicked as an indie fan following him around, but I got everything of how he is in the ring with the pockets and running and the DDT, and I love him. And like again, that's why I was really gunging for him to win this match, is because what I'm used to seeing of him in the indie scene. So I hope that going forward that we get to see this.
Right. So and I think what we got like last night definitely, and I see a lot of people tweeting about it, this definitely shut up a lot of naysayers who would complain that they don't get why he's so over. He doesn't wrestle. He doesn't do anything. This shows you right here that this is the reason why they went out and got this guy. He is entertaining as all hell. I had so much fun watching the match. I had pure enjoyment watching it from start to finish. I was not going into this match expecting, pure class wrestling and like what we're used to when we see like an Omega or a Young Bucks match or a Lucha Brothers match. If you're going in with that mindset, you should kind of just stop right away, because you're not going to get that. You're going to get more entertainment than anything else, and we got that. And then we got a lot of innovative stuff with Orange Cassidy, the way he wrestles. So we thought we got a lot of good things with that. I thought he did a really good job at selling. The selling was really done well by Orange Cassidy, selling a lot of the moves by Pac, and even with the, like I said, the roll thing was hilarious. So I enjoyed this match so well. There was actually a couple of times near the end where I thought he was going to win. I'm like, oh, damn, they're actually going to do this. Eventually, though, Pac ended up getting the win.
We set up best friend Lucha Brothers. So
yeah, we got the Lucha Brothers coming out. Yeah.
I just felt like this wasn't the match. I understand of them setting it up, but I really wish that they didn't, because especially that you're having this right before the main event. On the card, I was kind of a little upset with it. So maybe you're right. Maybe this should have been the opener.
Yeah, I think it should have. The crowd was hot throughout this entire match. And I think if you opened the pay-per-view with this, that's a good way for the rest of the show. The crowd was excited for the whole match. You have Pac win, even though it's, it caused booing from the crowd at the end and kind of deflated a little bit. This looks like it's probably going to set up I'm assuming on Dynamite we're going to get a 3-on-3 match with Pac and the Lucha Brothers against the Best Friends, which I'm excited if they do that. Yeah, this is really exciting. Finally, we got to see Orange Cassidy's singles debut. It was way over the top what I was expecting, and it was awesome. I can't wait to see more in Orange Cassidy's next singles match. I'm assuming with him, for the time being, it's going to be like one of those like rare occasions we'll see him having one-on-one match, and to really make it mean something. So I'm assuming maybe we can get a singles match out of him again at Double or Nothing, or maybe not till All Out. But with him, it's one of those like prize things you have on your roster that you kind of keep, and you want to make sure it doesn't get worn out and deflating. So this is really cool.
There was something that Brad brought up that I didn't realize until he said it last night, was that, did you notice that the referees, how they're like set up? So you have Rick Knox pretty much with the Elite, right? That he's always with the Young Bucks and like SCU and stuff. Bryce is more of like the comedy wrestling. So he reffed that match last night with Orange Cassidy, and that Aubrey is kind of like with the Inner Circle. Did you like notice that?
Yeah,
I was like,
so.
when he said it, I was like, oh wow, I was like, you're right. Like it makes sense. So, but yeah,
interesting.
like Jericho requested Aubrey to be his referee. So if you go back and you really like think about it, I was like, like I said, until he said that, and then I started piecing it together, I was like, he's right. I was like, it's pretty interesting. So
yeah, actually, I think Santana tweeted not too long ago that he's like, someone tweeted about Aubrey. He's like, I'm tired of her.
Yeah, earlier, something that, you know, but we'll get into that later with the Moxley and
the women's championship match was used as a cool down for this pay-per-view, which it's kind of understandable. Like there was barely any build going into it. It only had a week to build up. We didn't get much leading into it, so the storyline really didn't present itself to make this a marquee match on the card. They put it right after the tag match, and you know, obviously the crowd was dead because of what happened in that tag match. They were silent throughout. I mean, I think Statlander still did a good job. Statlander still did a good job getting her offense in and showing what she's all about. It was a really weird match. I wasn't too impressed with it. They did slow down a lot faster than I thought they would. It is what it is. Nyla Rose won, but with a cool way to catch her finisher. She caught Statlander, and from what I remember, I was trying to pay attention as much as I could to this match, and it was really tough because I was so worn out from that tag team match. I was jumping on and off my couch so much that it wore me out. So,
well, maybe we should just talk about that match because there's not really much to really talk about.
Nyla Rose retained. Whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, moving on. We'll keep it quick or whatever.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the tag team match. Oh, this is why I love the Young Bucks. All right, like they really are one of the best in the world. Okay, maybe they aren't the best, but they really are in probably like the top 5 tag teams around. Right? You can't they have like great this was a great match. This is insanity, this match.
This might be a leading candidate already for match of the year out of any company out there right now. This was so good, and this is probably one of the best tag team matches I've seen in a while. I can't remember, like last time, it's crazy that we should come to expect we're going to have matches like this in AEW because they strive on making their tag team division the best out of any company out there. They focus everything on their tag team wrestling matches themselves. So we knew even with the people going into it, like with Kenny, Hangman, and the Young Bucks, we knew we were going to get something special out of this match. But what we got was way more than I expected. I expected a good tag team match, but what we got was legendary. This is, without a shout of a doubt, I don't care what he rates it, I am rating this a 5-star tag team match. This was so good because not only what we got was impressive wrestling, what we got was storyline throughout this entire tag team match, a storyline of Hangman and the Young Bucks, especially Matt, out of all people. Matt showed another side to him this match that not a lot of people are used to. And something else that happened throughout this match is I never heard the Young Bucks get booed like that. Like that was holy crap heat.
if you watched like when they were heel in Ring of Honor in New Japan, and it's true Matt can get the heat more easier than Nick. So it was great, and it makes it more entertaining. I've seen it a lot. I've seen them turn like kind of like heel during the match. They did it with Private Party in House of Glory. And again, like I said, we've seen it in the Bullet Club. Like I think it's true. I think they're more entertaining as a heel. Same thing with Kenny. Like I'm not feeling Kenny so much as a babyface. I feel Kenny more as a heel. It's more entertaining to me. And all the stuff that we're getting, Hangman Page doing the freaking chicken wing. Okay,
that was great.
Girl, like, oh my god, I flipped out. It's like he did the exact move, and I was going nuts. And then when you had the golden trigger, a shot at freaking when the Young Bucks did it, the golden trigger against Kenny, and Kenny got so mad because that was a shot at Kenny and oh my god, a Coda, whatever. Like I was losing
there you go.
shit. Like thank you. Like I'm like
the Golden Lovers.
I'm so loving it. It was just, oh my god, the shots. It was just great. Oh my god, the heat, and you just saw Kenny getting so mad. And these are the things that we would know because we watched like Ring of Honor, we watched New Japan. But like as a new fan that's coming to AEW, they're not gonna pick up on this stuff. Like who's Marty? Who's
that was huge, and a lot of you could see in the crowd too. Like they caught it right away when he was setting up for it. You're like, oh my god, he's doing the chicken wing, and even when he pulled off, people went nuts. It was incredible. I'm sure Marty was smiling, and again, like when I said about the storytelling in this match, like Matt got to another side of him that not a lot of people are used to, and even Nick. Like at some points when Matt was doing things to both Hangman and Kenny. Yeah. That Nick has to come in and go, like, what are you doing, man? Like, they're our friends. Like, what are you actually doing? Like, you're going way over the top. And, like, there's the one part where he ripped all the KT tape off of Kenny and basically looked like he was trying to separate his shoulder. And then Nick had to stop his brother and say, like, look, what are you doing, man? This is Kenny. This is our friend. And Matt's like, oh, man. Like, he, like, had to snap out of it going, man, like, what am I actually doing? And it was just incredible.
This is the storytelling that these guys have been rolling together for years. They know each other very well. They know how they work in the ring. And this is the perfect storytelling of a match. So I know, like, I wasn't thrilled about it weeks ago, but in the ring, this is how you tell stories. And it was beautiful. Done. And you're right. This is probably like one of the matches of the year. Like last year, I feel like match of the year was Young Bucks versus Private Party the first week of Dynamite. Yeah. Right. Right now, and it is March 1st now, right? And this could have been match of the year.
Yeah, it was so good. There were so many good moments even in the match. Like we just discussed, the chicken wing. One of the greatest spots ever that got me off the couch was when Kenny got the golden trigger done to him and he kicked out at one of all times. And then the crowd, you saw the crowd instantly shot up out of their seats in amazement and getting behind Kenny, like a Hulk Hogan Hulk up moment. It was just so cool and well done. And another cool moment was when Hangman almost won the match with the one-winged angel. Like I thought that was going to be the end of the match. I thought for sure, I'm like, oh my god, he's going to retain while using the one-winged angel. What a story. I think maybe they should have ended it there. I think ending it there probably would have done a good job of because we know this storyline's now continuing. This is not over yet between these two teams. Like they cannot end like this. They cannot end on the note of Hangman walking out of the ring and still drinking beer. You don't end this story on this. So there is a story still to be told with this, and the fact that they ended it on a decent note. It was after that the crowd still gave him a standing ovation. It was good. I kind of felt like they should have maybe ended on the one-winged angel by Hangman. That would have. The crowd was so amped at that as well. So I think maybe they should have done it like that. Regardless, we got like a 35-minute classic, and it's a tag team match that I'm sure to go back and watch over the years to come. Like it was so good. Yeah. Oof.
Like something to watch again, definitely, because it was that damn good.
Oof.
So, oof. Needs to be a shirt. Oof.
An oof shirt.
Oof.
It's just gonna be you with your mouth going oof.
can.
Anywho, Rihu.
Yes.
Another headline match. I mean, there's only 2 headline matches to talk about there. We basically had 3 headlines. So the second one, MJF and Cody, and going into this match, obviously there was this is basically a come full circle of this feud. So this was the payoff match. We got the payoff. I don't think these guys are ever going to have another match. They might on a Dynamite, but I don't think this is ever going to lead to another pay-per-view between these two unless it's for a championship, which at this point we don't know if they're ever going to go back on what Cody said. We'll have to take, we'll take that in the future when it comes. But this was what you call in the industry a awesome old school match. What we got in this entire match was so good. You had to take it. A lot of people weren't a fan of it. I seen online because they were trying to compare it to the tag team match, and if you think about MJF and Cody, you're not going to get those flashy kind of moves from these two. You're going to get some old school type of wrestling, and it's going to be more storytelling and everything. I thought what we got through the whole entire thing was so good, with the valets getting involved, and everything in this match was great. I didn't have a problem with anything. The only thing I had a problem with in this entire match, Cody, we need to talk, bro. We need to talk. Sit down, take a seat. Now, I understand your whole family thing, your nightmare family thing, the logo, everything inspired, everything that went into it. You chose a really cool looking like the tattoo artist that did that rendition of the Nightmare Family logo was good. It was great. It was a really well done tattoo. I ask the question, why the hell did you put it on your neck of all places on your body that are not covered in tattoos?
Oh, you're one of those?
What? It looks so bad on your neck like that. It does not look good. How are you going out to promote the news? Like you're going on the news every single week to promote Dynamite in the towns you go to. How are they gonna take you seriously when you go on that news show and they see that damn neck tattoo on your neck in that suit? It does not look good. It was a wrong placement. It's not connected to another tattoo. There's nothing else on it right now, unless he has plans to do a full neck tattoo, which at that point on Cody Rhodes is going to look so weird. This tattoo should have been on his chest, on his shoulder. I wouldn't even care if it was on the back of his neck. Right here. Like right here. Like, no. I was like, oh no. I think it looks bad there. That tattoo looks cool. Bad placement. Really bad placement.
But
that's like me getting the No Holds Barred logo right here.
Do it.
No, I will not do that.
It's funny because it's true, because Tony Khan wasn't happy about it either. But I mean, it is the day. It's like tattoos are tattoos. I can't really say anything. I
Even
got
Brandy didn't like it. Brandy was like, I told him I hated it since day one.
Oh, man. I mean, it is what it is. That was his choice. It's his body, right? What are you going to do? I'm not going to really say anything about it.
He's going to wear a scarf at every interview now?
I'm going to be a hypocrite if I say anything about tattoos. So I'm not going to sit there and I'm not going to rant about it. So
you can say stuff about tattoos. Just the placement is where it is.
Can we talk about how MJF with his bad spray tan
that
it was so uneven? He is such a Long Island boy. I'm sorry, like I live in Long Island, like I know, like but like it was so bad. I love the robe that he came out. I love the entrance that the Burberry coming down the aisle. I love that, but bro, like. Really? Like the spray tan? Like you look like a Cheeto?
Right. The armpit was white. Like he was just like, oh, what the hell going on here? Why is he dark? And what throws it off too is his bodyguard Wardlow is white as a ghost. So like it's even more thrown off. And Cody's not tan either. So like
honestly,
it's a bad spray tan.
You like this match? I didn't like the match. Again, it was a match that I felt that went on a little bit too long. I really don't need to see the big entrances that everybody's gonna come out with Cody. Brandy looked cute as hell. Absolutely cute. I love it. Like, you know, she wasn't like sexy. She was kind of like cute, supporting her husband and everything. But the match, like I've said before, MJF still is very young. MJF is gold in promos. He still needs work in the ring. That's how I feel about it. It was, you know, there was a lot of things that we saw, even when he dropped out on the floor holding on to Cody, pretending to cry, you know, and it's like, oh, like, you know, I'm so sorry. Like, I was like, oh God. But again, storytelling, right? Like, you know, like you knew what was going to happen. So I wasn't 100% fan of this match. But like I predicted that, MJF, because of Kyle was right, he needed this win because of the fact that Cody couldn't challenge for the belt, and especially with the rankings that he was number 2, like MJF had to, and MJF needs, you know, like maybe Wednesday we're gonna see him like start demanding things now, right? Like, oh, I beat your precious Cody, I beat him, like now I want to challenge for the belt next or something. So
it was a good ending too. It was the way they ended it. Cody just got way too cocky and he let that take over his mind. He decided, nah, I'm gonna do 3 crossroads, and MGF was able to sneak in the ring on his finger and have it cause the match. And because Cody got blind with cockiness, he didn't see it coming, and that's how they ended the match. I thought it was perfect.
Amanda asked in chat, can someone explain to me how Max busted himself open? I'm gonna tell you the real cause of it. He bladed himself, okay? Like, he did it under the ring because he did really bad.
But, like, so I was confused on the spot.
It was, right? Like, it was just, it didn't make any sense to me, but that's what it was. That's why he was under the ring, because he bladed himself. That's the real reason of how it happened.
Yeah, there's blading going on in AEW. We've known. Yeah. It's been going on. It's just like...
He's very big on that.
It's just like, I was confused on, like, where it happened. I have to go back and watch what spot made him do that, so we'll have to see. MJF coming out with the victory, so it's gonna be interesting to see what happens now. Like what's in Cody's mindset at right now. What's MJF gonna do from here now that he's still undefeated and in AEW? Like, it's, I don't know where they go from here. Are they gonna do a MJF in John Moxley? So we'll see.
The one thing we didn't bring up was the lashing. When Cody was begging the ref, he's like, just give me one. I did all these 10 lashes. I just want one. And then the ref just like was like, whatever.
It was confusing.
It was a lot of shenanigans. Who was it that said in the chat? There was a lot of shenanigans in this match. That's why I said, like, maybe that's why it wasn't its best match. The second match with Cody and Darby, I feel, was one of Cody's best matches this year. This was not one of the best matches. This should have been a really great payoff. But I mean, again, what are we going to see from here? That's what I think. I think MJF is going to start demanding stuff on Dynamite, that he's the best and that, you know, he deserves a title shot.
It was an interesting... I was confused too, and Mrs. Masters was just as confused as I was. I was like, okay, wait. So the referee stops MJF from ever whipping him once, but lets Cody do it? I'm like, what's going on here? Like, why is Cody getting more privileged than you can't pick a side. The referee can't be biased like that. It was really weird. I was like, okay, I don't know. Anywho, Rihu, the main event of Revolution was amazing. I thought it was so. It was just. I had the big fight feel even with the entrances, and it was so. What an awesome entrance! I guess that girl was a fan of Chris Jericho, and she's one of the ones that put out that acapella video of singing Chris Jericho's song, and he sought her out and made her come with, and they called it the Inner Circle Choir. Done. The Inner Circle Choir. Oh, yeah. That was cool. I thought it was a cool entrance, and he actually made his entrance, and Moxley had a cool entrance too, like coming out of the cold Chicago streets and into the arena, basically showing like he was coming from the streets like everyone in that building, and everyone was on his side, and it was like the entrances actually meant something, which is really cool. And then they had the whole announcement even. John, it sounded like at first that Justin Roberts messed up, but he's like, I'll try to interpret this. No F's given.
It was great. It was great. I love him. It's even the bits on being the elite with him with Nyla Rose last week when she was, we need to talk. We need to talk. This is, and then she's with the phone, and then she was like, "This is how I want you to say it," and then the beast.
Nyla Rose, the native beast. Nyla Rose.
Really, I love it. I love a little bit of comedy because it's okay for a little bit of comedy to be.
He's like a robot. He's like the native beast, Nyla Rose. And he said it like the same way every time. It was good, but yeah, the entrances were awesome. As for the match itself, I think this was a pretty decent match. There was a one spot where Moxley got power bombed through the ring bell table, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's another thing I have to go back and look. I think the reason why he got cut above his eye, that coincidentally was his eye patched eye, he got cut right above, was I think the ring bell came down and pegged him in the head. And that thing's heavy. It's on like a heavy metal plate. Like this thing it's not a toy ring bell. And it was funny because this was a legit cut, and it was above the eye patch.
Yeah.
Where he above the eye where he had the eye patch. So when the blood trickled down, it made it look like the blood was coming from his cut eye, quote unquote cut eye, like his pegged eye. So I thought that was a really probably unplanned kind of blood spot.
Yeah.
That they did. And then
there's a lot of
the big reveal at the end. He took the eye patch off and he's like, ah.
I told you, I called it. I knew that was going to happen, that it was going to be a play. I knew it. It was time for it to come off.
I was laughing because the way he did it, he was like, ah. Oh, it was cool. It was such a cool moment. And we saw a few times during the match where his, he was training with Randy Couture. His MMA training came like when he reversed the walls of Jericho that one time. I don't know. I thought they did a good job of making a main event match with some of the shit they did throughout the entire match. And there were times where I thought for sure Jericho was probably going to win. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna get this pick right. And then there were times like, oh man, Moxley's probably gonna win. And it was really back and forth for me. And they made him look like a really awesome badass at the end, where he did the double paradigm shift. And wow, I don't remember the last time a crowd erupt. I think the last time I heard a crowd erupt after a 3 count was when we were at NXT TakeOver New York, when Johnny won the championship, and the crowd went absolutely ape crap when he got pinned. The crowd, everyone, it was like synchronized. When they counted 3, all you could hear was the crowd roar, and everybody got up. It was insane, and it was such a feel-good moment because the crowd felt that it was about, like, everyone felt what Jon Moxley was feeling. It was such a cool moment. You can tell in Moxley, like, that was real emotion coming out of him, because he was interviewed this week saying that if he wins the AEW championship, it's going to mean more than any other championship he's ever won his entire career. And you can tell that he was so happy to win that, and the emotion overcame him. Even with the promo, he was like losing track of what to say. But the gist of his promo was this was for the fans and us out here who've grown this brand with him, and that this win and this championship belongs to us. It was really cool, a really good feel-good moment. There's the funny part where his music accidentally started. He's like, "Hey, what the fuck?" And you could hear it on the mic. And even JR started laughing when he heard him say, "What the fuck?"
That's what I love about AEW. But even like the parts where the Inner Circle got thrown out, and then like you definitely knew that he was gonna win, and then Sammy came in and knocked him with the belt, and he was still able to kick out. It was just such.
I'm sorry, Ortiz when they got thrown out, hilarious. He was standing on the ropes, and when Aubrey said the throw, he dropped, and his hat flew, and he dropped like he just died.
Yes.
Ortiz is so freaking hilarious. That guy's money. Like, he's so funny.
I told you. I love it. I love it. I was so excited when Kyle came to New York to see Santana and Ortiz. Like, oh my God, so good.
Like, even when like John Moxley was down and out around the ring, he's like, that's what you get. Like, he was great. Like, he was good.
It was good. It's good. I told you, like, they know how to make stars. They've really picked some great talent. That's why it's like I'm kind of glad that the Young Bucks didn't pick up the belts, because I'm hoping that when it does fall off, that it could fall off to somebody new. I think we've made the tag team titles something now. So I'm hoping we see more of that.
Yeah,
but this was a solid pay-per-view. Like,
it's weird because after they didn't win the belts, I'm like, okay, so I think they're kind of thinking what we're thinking. They want to wait until it's the opportune moment for the Young Bucks where it's going to mean something and it's going to be emotional for them. So we might not see the Young Bucks win the titles for a while. Like, it might be a long time.
Good. Goomba asks in the chat, I have a question which I'm hoping you can answer. In the end, was someone supposed to come out, or something was supposed to happen? It seemed that Moxley was waiting for something to drop. It seemed like that, right? But this is something that I had talked about also in previous shows. Because of the fact that it seems like we're only going to get like 4 pay-per-views a year, we cannot be spoiled and expect big name drops every time, because we're going to look for it every pay-per-view, and it shouldn't be like that. It should mean something. I did think the same thing too. I think somebody just screwed up with the music or something, and maybe it was something that maybe he didn't expect that somebody was going to come out, and that's what happened, and he just improv'd, into his promo.
I think it was his emotions too. I think it was it seemed like that because there were times where he didn't know what to say, because God, if he and I imagine he was truthful when he said that this is going to be the most meaningful championship of his life. Can you imagine being in his shoes and feeling all that emotion at that point, and having to talk and cut a promo after a long match like that? Like, it must have been struggled on what to say. And I think he got the point across for what he said, that he's going to, this is for the fans out there. He's like, line right there. He's like, line them up. I don't care. I'll fight anybody, anytime, anywhere with this championship. I'm going to fight for it. And then he dropped the mic. Like, it was well done.
Oh, the one thing that we did talk about with this match is, like, I love when they went into the crowd and then Jericho grabbed the camera and then put his middle finger up. And I was dying. I was like, but these are the little things that I love about wrestling, that it's fun and it's making us laugh and it's bringing us more involved. And I love AEW, and of course there's always going to be little things that that everybody's not going to like, and of course there's things that I don't like, and I'm sure there was like some things that Kyle didn't like, but overall, like, I'm so proud to be a fan of AEW. It's so good.
Like you said, there's going to be people out there who, this is not for them. AEW is not for them, and that's understandable. If what AEW does is not for you, it's cool. You can go watch. There's so much wrestling out there. There's probably something that fulfills what you want to see in wrestling. Like today, I was doing my other sports network podcasting things, and I was out and about because I cover our OHL team here in the city, and I was talking to someone in the press box today, and he actually watches wrestling, and it was brought up in a conversation with the other people I was with that, does he watch AEW? And he said to him, and I was fine with his comment. He said, I've watched, it's not really for me. They do too many flips and all this stuff. I'm more of like the old school type of wrestling watch, and that's fine. Again, people like that, if AEW is clearly not for them who think like that guy, and that's perfectly okay. There's wrestling out there that's for you for that. There's NWA. They're really like type of old school type of wrestling and stick to what that is, and that's them. Like, there's other wrestling out there that's going to fulfill someone's needs. So it's not a big deal if AEW is not for you. You just don't need to be like those Twitter goons and go out there and express and comment on everyone's status who loves AEW and be a goon about it. So
right. Well, and that's why I'm pushing the indie scene, and that's why, like, I do the other shows with our interviews and the indie talks, because there is a lot, and I talk about that, like we just said, there is a lot of different kind of wrestling out there. Again, being fortunate of following a lot of these guys from Ring of Honor, New Japan that I've watched, of the Elite, and now all these indie guys, like I see different aspects to it. So you have your comedy wrestling. It might not be for everybody. You have your technical wrestling. You have your gory wrestling. It really depends what you're into. And me personally, this is why I became a huge fan of AEW, because a lot of this I had follow different routes of. So I'm really enjoying this again, and I don't completely knock it because there's still a lot of things they have to work out. And again, it's only been a couple of months, right? Even though the company's been around for a little over a year, we've had it on TV since October.
Right.
So still a lot to work out. It's getting better. It really, really is. And they're listening to us, which is just great. It's so important.
Yep. So. And Tony Khan, even with his post videos, like he said, like it was big things are coming to AEW. He said there's a lot of stuff they want to do with Dynamite heading into the summer, and to look out because the summer they're going to announce a lot of stuff, which is really cool. So I can't wait. AEW, it just keeps growing and growing. I'm excited for the future. This was such a good pay-per-view to kick off 2020, the first of 4. Next, we're building towards Double or Nothing, which is going to be in May, on May 23rd. They did announce one thing on the show, which I'm sure Tiff is really hyped for. We're getting another themed AEW Dynamite, which is the one in New Jersey that Tiff is going to. It's now Blood and Guts, which I see the name at first. I'm like, wait, what are they doing? I'm like, Blood and Guts. And then I was trying to remember where I've heard that before. And obviously, this is another subtle shot at WWE when Vince made fun of the company last year in his quarter meeting, saying like, oh, I don't know how TNT likes that company. What they do, all they do is blood and guts stuff. And, again, it's another thing that Vince doesn't really know. It's another moment. It's another Vince moment. That's all I'm going to say. But it's it says blood and guts, but the theme of the night is that they're going to be doing a war game style Dynamite. I don't know if it's every match or the main event.
I wish you were coming for this.
Yeah.
It makes me a little sad. Like, I really wish you were experiencing this with me.
I know. They're doing a double ring, and if it's anything like the steel cage we just got, so imagine that steel cage covering 2 rings. Like, oh my God. So that's pretty cool that they announced that. And again, like Tony Khan said in his post conference, the post press conference, big things are coming to AEW this coming summer, so to keep an eye out for that. And now we're on the road to Double or Nothing in Vegas on my birthday. Double or Nothing's happening on my birthday. It's really cool. This coming May. So yeah, I liked the pay-per-view last night. It was good. As for our picks, I won by one.
Congratulations.
6-5. So Tiff, there's still 3 pay-per-views left. Don't worry.
No, it's good. I mean, I won last year, I mean, so congratulations. So.
Thank you.
I did. I congratulated right after the pay-per-view last night. I was like, congratulations.
Yeah. So I only won by 1. It was close. It wasn't a landslide. So there was only one match. So
how it goes with you and me. So
yeah, basically came down to the main event. We were tied going into the main event. So, no, wait. It came down to Pac and Orange Cassidy.
You had already won before Moxley.
Okay, so Pac and Orange Cassidy came down to.
Didn't matter. Yeah, that's okay.
Anywho,
Rihu.
I love the pay-per-view last night. It was good. Other than that, guys, thank you for listening to this podcast. Again, like I said in the beginning, we want to thank all the fans out there for being fans of us and sharing. Like, everything you guys do is well appreciated. Whether you're liking our tweets, you're retweeting, you're giving us shout outs on Twitter, everything is so much appreciated. Or you're commenting on YouTube. Everyone that comments on YouTube, I try to like all your comments as best I can. I am reading them. Tiff is reading them. Even if we don't respond, we are seeing what you guys are saying. So we do feel bad if we don't respond to everyone right away. We had a lot of fan tweets. I sent out a quick fan tweet about everyone's what everyone thought of like what they thought their favorite match was. I saw a lot of people. We got more tweets than I thought we were gonna get.
Yeah. I'm gonna pick random ones really quick, because I know we've been going for a while. So again, thank you for everybody who participated. I love it. I love doing the fan tweets with you guys. So I'm gonna run through a couple. So Mrs. Masters actually said Moxley and Jericho, no question. MJF Scarf said Orange versus Pac was fun. Bucks versus Kenny was the best match.
Mr. Scarf. Yes, Mr. Scarf, who is coincidentally best friends with my Kyle Masters Hat Twitter account. So
much. I dropped the. No. Okay. Okay, so I saw our girl Maria said tag team championship match, not enough tag team wrestling. Will the Bucks ever hold the titles?
Dun, dun,
They will.
dun.
It will happen. It's just too soon. I know, like, she's a fan and she's new to like wrestling still, and she loves the Young Bucks. So, pretty much everybody would say like tag team. Comic Book Bob said tag match for me, freaking instant classic. Chris Jericho said, I can't choose. Izzy said the entire fucking show.
Yeah.
Tannerly said Omega and Hangman versus the Bucks. I mean, this is pretty much everything that everybody was saying. Riley said match of the night for me was Bucks versus Omega and Page. I wanted Omega and Page to win because of the current story. The Bucks really laid into him in that interview. The boos from the crowd at the Bucks were so weird to hear. Powerful story, great wrestling. See, someone that maybe didn't follow, like, you know, like you wouldn't understand like why they were getting booed, but that they do know how to get heat. And we'll do one last one. Randy said damn hard between the tag match and Orange versus Pac.
Yeah, there are so many good matches. Again, it's really hard to pick a match of the night. You can go based off wrestling that, you know, the tag team match was probably the obvious match of the night, but to other people that, you know, are probably a big fan of Darby Allin, like that was their match of the night because they got what they wanted to see out of that match. Or, you know, massive fans of Orange Cassidy, they finally got to see his debut. To them, that's their match of the night. Or big fans of Cody, like there's a lot of huge Cody fans out there, you know, that's their match of the night. So to a lot of people, you know, there are their matches of the night. It's not going to be for everybody. Other than that, again, let us know, guys. You still have time. Let us know down below in the comments. You can actually tweet at us, and that's one of the things. Make sure you are following this podcast on Twitter at All Elite Pod. You can follow myself at Real Kyle Masters or Tiffany at Loves to Dream 82. You can follow us on Instagram. We post on there at All Elite Pod, and you can like us on Facebook at All Elite Podcast. We do post on each one of those platforms. So thank you to everyone who follows, and thank you for following us. And then, if you're one of those people who take us on the go, we are available on the go. Yes, we are on apps like iHeartRadio, Spreaker, Spotify, Google and Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Deezer, Pocket Cast, Overcast, Castbox, Podcast Addict. So many different platforms, guys. All you have to do is search up the No Holds Bar Network. You will get the All Elite Podcast, and other podcasts are available on this network provided by myself and Tiffany. We do have a merch store. I do have to fix the link that's on the description. I didn't. Apparently, I forgot. Apparently, it stopped at the word decoration. I'll have to fix that. But No Holds Barred Network.secure-decoration.com is where you can find the No Holds Barred Network official merchandise store. You'll find merchandise on there from each one of the podcasts on the network, and it has a sweet looking shirt on there, guys. Go give it some love. And that is by our boy Darren and These Wolves. The music for the Elite t-shirt is available on there. And like everything on the store, everything is donated to Culture City Charity, guys. And if you don't know what Culture City Charity, they are partnered with AEW in real life. They are a nonprofit dedicated to the fight for inclusion and acceptance of all individuals, regardless of their unique abilities at each AEW event. So we will donate every amount of money you purchase on that website to the charity. So thank you again for everyone that's bought in t-shirts, and then go check it out, guys. And shout outs to Darren and D's Wolves, guys. You heard Dead to Me if you guys were paying attention on this week's Dynamite and the promo before the Cody and MJF match. It was actually chosen, Dead to Me, to be the promo song for that promo video for that feud. It's amazing to hear that. It was such a good moment, and I couldn't imagine what it felt like for Darren and These Wolves. Guys, go check it out. They do the official theme song of the podcast, Dead to Me. So go give them some love, and shout outs to Darren and them for letting us use that song each and every single week. Thank you. You have no idea what that means to us, Darren. I'm sure we felt the same when we seen that promo and heard the song. It was so cool. So again, thank you very much. And thank you again. I'm going to sound like Moxley here. Thank you to you fans out there. What you guys do for us is so much appreciated. So all we ask from you is to do a little thing, like the video. That's all we ask, is like the video. So make sure you're subscribed. Then share us on Twitter. Share us your thoughts. Tweet at us once in a while. We love to hear those. Like, tweet us what you think of the podcast, what you didn't like. Oh, we take constructive criticism well here. Like, tell us what you think, or what you want to see on this podcast, and me and Tiff will take it into consideration and do for you. We want to do a lot of more fan interactive stuff with this. So again, thank you so much. Get the word out there to listen to the All Elite podcast, to have you guys covered on everything going on in the AEW world. So Other than that, Tiff, I think we're going to wrap it up here for the Revolution Review and Recap. Guys, we'll be back to our regular programming, having a podcast weekly covering AEW Dynamite and, again, everything in that AEW world. That's going to wrap it up for this episode. I'm your self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters, here joined by my co-host. She's the EVP of Giggles. She's also called the Heartbreak Chick, possibly the Exalted One, and definitely the Queen of the Indies with their horns. That's going to wrap it up for us two guys. Thank you very much for listening. Again, hit that like button, comment down below, subscribe to us, and we'll see you next time right here on the All Elite Podcast.
I don't know.